I mean, hang on a minute. Sorry, Baroness Manningham-Buller, the former head of MI5, not a terrorist, at the Iraq inquiry in 2010, said the invasion had substantially, I quote, increased the terrorist threat to the UK by radicalising young people. It's not just an excuse terrorists use, is it?
The fact that a number of countries that have had no involvement in military conflicts in the Middle East have been the targets of Islamist terrorists goes to show that there is not that link. The link that Jeremy Corbyn has made
well, it's not just Jeremy Corbyn who's making that link. I mean, if you actually quote that speech and you think about what he said, he talked about a link been made by academics. I've just given you another example which you didn't respond to there. I'm not quite sure why, but the former head of MI5 said that there is a link. It substantially increased the risk.
Well, the point I've made is that there are, in direct response to that point, is there are a number of countries that have been targeted by terrorists.
Yes, you said that, but why would the former head of MI5 say that?
Well, I don't know. I don't, you know, I can't. I don't have access to the detail of the context around that quote.
Okay, so the link is not as simple as that, but there could be a link.
But what I'm saying is that if the person who aspires to run the country is saying that as a direct response to terrorist atrocities in the UK, he is going to change British foreign policy, that is handing a victory to terrorists. That is what they want. They want to use violence. They want to use bombs to influence British foreign policy. People would argue that, then we are letting them win.
People would argue Jeremy Corbyn has held those views for a long time, long in advance of Monday evening's attack. Let me just come on to something else, Mr. Corbyn also suggested, and this is a very serious point that you need to address, more fund. Police Federation Chairman Steve White, listening to that, James Cleverly, what would you say?
Well, what we know, and I'm not comfortable making assessments on partial information. I don't have the full details of what happened in the particular investigations around the Manchester bombing. But what we do know is that the Prime Minister, both as Prime Minister and as Home Secretary, has made an ongoing commitment to the Prevent strategy, and this is a strategy which has been roundly criticised by Jeremy Corbyn and
it was also meant to be reviewed by the Conservative government, and it hasn't been.
Well, these things are they're always evolving because they have to respond to the threat. So
but no review has happened. No review has happened, James Cleverly.
Well, the point I'm saying is that we are committed to the Prevent strategy, and many of the people, Mr. Corbyn included, have been vocal opponents of this. And again, they've opposed.
Sorry, I'm not talking about Prevent. It's really important to make the distinction here. I'm talking about police officers.
But frontline policing is part of the Prevent strategy.
Yes,
you can't unweave the two.
Steve White was speaking very clearly there about community police officers, and you cannot deny there has been a cut to those by thousands.
Yes, that is the case.
Right.
But the point
so do you accept from somebody who is in that position that that has had a detrimental effect on community policing?
But making the leap to suggest that the attacks in Manchester would not have happened if that had not been the case is a leap that no one can.
I'm not asking you to say.
Evidence.
I'm not asking you to make that full leap. But what I'm asking you to accept, as a Conservative politician, that there is a connection between the cuts to the police force, the police who are out there on the streets, and those cuts have happened under a Conservative government, and there now being the need to have the army supporting them on the streets, and, if you like, a degradation in their ability to do their jobs.
No, I don't agree that there is that link.